Today I actually have two new things for you. First, I want to give you a pattern review on the Yanta Overalls that's designed by Helen's Closet. And then I want to show you how I incorporated the size changes that I made to the pattern into the actual facing pieces for the inside of the bib part. So I made the Yanta Overalls for Halloween. It was actually part of my Mario Brothers inspired costumes. I was Luigi, and you can actually see the picture right over here. I actually found that these overalls fit really well and they were super comfortable. In fact, I even altered a pair and made a couple of changes to make my husband a real simple pair as well. But I'm not going to walk you through all of those changes today. So this pattern itself has a bib with a front pocket. Now it does have a pointed pocket, and in the instructions this pocket is actually designed to be reversed. So the point comes up this way. I wasn't a big fan of that, so I went ahead and I just reversed it this way. It does have you stitched down the center of the pocket, so there's two different openings right there. Also, there's darts for shaping in this pattern. So you can see right here there are waist darts, and that's really nice because if you want to take out some width there, you can mess with it there. I didn't do it from my darts. I actually changed the width of my pattern at the waist. I'll get into that in a little bit. There are button closures on the straps, so you do have to make buttonholes and attach a button onto your actual strap. I actually like the fact that it has this button right here and an actual buttonhole because you can make this without having to run to the store to get any additional hardware to make your overalls. There is a facing on the inside. Now, I'll say this. I do wish that these front pockets were a little larger. So if I were to make these overalls again, I would definitely make them a little bigger. And then there are also back pockets as well, and they have the little pointed corners going down. And I felt like the back pockets were appropriately sized. This is the actual back of the pattern piece. So you can see here that it's got like this little diamond sewn right into that back there. And there is that flat top where your straps come out. This pattern is designed for someone who's 5 feet 6 inches. Now, I'm 5 feet 3, and so I didn't really have to worry about lengthening these at all. It looks like, according to the pictures, these are designed to hit you kind of above the ankle. Well, that's not the look that I was going for. I did want a full length pair of overalls, so I just went ahead and made them according to the directions, and they were full length on me. So that was definitely a plus as well. When I was reading the description of these overalls, I couldn't help but to chuckle because it was actually described as an artist style overalls. And I mean, I don't know what an artist style is. I mean, what, like splash a bunch of paint over it and you have artist style? I don't know. But they do state that it's designed to have a comfortable fit through the waist, hips, and legs area. And I agree, it absolutely does. And it has plenty of pockets. Now let's talk about the types of fabrics that they recommend. So they actually recommend that you use something that's medium to heavyweight for this pattern. Now, I used a cotton twill that I picked up from Joann's. I'm going to link to the pattern and everything down in the info box. So if you're curious about anything that I'm talking about, you can find it in there. This cotton twill did absolutely sew up really beautifully. I didn't have any problems with this one. Some of the other fabrics that they recommend are your heavyweight linens, denim, corduroy, and canvas. If you want to make it from lightweight fabrics for summer, you can go ahead and try that. But just know that if you're using a more drapey fabric, you're going to get a different look from what I was able to achieve with this. Now let's talk about the sizing. This pattern runs from a size 0 to 30. So when it comes to the waist, you're looking at a 24-inch waist over to a 48-inch waist. And your hips go from 33 to 58. So, I mean, it's not as wide a range as I would like to see it, but it's pretty decent. For me personally, my hips fell in between the size 20 and 22. So my hips are 49 inches right now. And so it kind of fell in between that 48 to 50 inch range. So I decided to cut a size 20 overall for the entire overalls. But because my waist is 35 inches, I actually had to remove some of the width at my waist to kind of bring it in, so that way the sides weren't just kind of like hanging all the way out here. Previously, I had mentioned that there are actual facings on the inside of these overalls, which is nice because it gives you a nice clean finish. And you can see that I actually had rainbow thread in my serger. But because there's a facing, if you make changes to any of the pattern pieces, you have to make sure that you're also incorporating those same changes into your facings. In my case, I ended up removing 3 inches from the sides. So it was 1.5 inches from each side, which equated to 3/4 of an inch for each piece. So when I did remove that, I had to make sure that I removed it from the actual facings. Let me show you how I did it, you all. This is a cheater method, but it's so simple. Here you can see that I have my front piece here with the dart. Now I cut off the legs here just so that it would fit into this view a little easier for you all. Now I'm going to measure out 3/4 of an inch from the side here because that's how much I want to bring in this piece. And then I'm going to slowly blend that in to the rest of the side. So I'm going to bring it right out like that. Now at this point, you're going to want to go ahead and grab those scissors because we're going to cut out this little triangle thing that we made. So go ahead and cut that out right now. And then grab your facing piece because we're going to tape it onto the end here. And we're going to trace that little piece right onto the edge of our facing. Okay, so now we can go ahead and stick that back onto the original piece so we don't lose it. And then we're going to cut it off of our facing piece. Now I like to tape this right onto the pattern piece so that way if I need it in the future, it's not lost. And that's all that's to making this actual change to your facing. If you're having a fun time hanging with me, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, please. Sometimes a little quick and dirty adjustment can be just the thing that you need. So now that I have my new facing, I can go ahead and just cut that out of my fabric and not really have to worry about it. If you have a different quick and dirty method on how you adjust your actual pattern pieces, like for your facings, drop it in the comments below because I definitely want to check that out. You all, I have to admit that these directions are really good. They were clear and the diagrams are really easy to follow. So that is something that I definitely appreciated about the pattern itself. What I didn't appreciate was how my strap took a nice little dip in the toilet when I was trying to take care of my business. I had to go into DC today, so I was planning on wearing my overalls in so I can grab a couple of cute pictures for you all. You know, pictures that aren't Halloweenish. And well, you know, after one of the straps took a dip in the toilet, it was just a no-go. So they need to get washed. I'm not wearing toilet water overalls. So here's a couple pictures of the family in our costumes, which is basically 2 Yanta overalls and some t-shirts and stuff like that. And you if I have to say anything, I feel like this pattern is a really good one. It looks like the picture of the actual pattern cover, and it looks like the pattern that was featured on all of the models on Helen's Closet's website. So, I mean, I have to give it top-notch ratings there, as well as for the actual instructions. I would recommend this pattern to other people who are looking for an easy to make pair of overalls. For me personally, I'm not sure that overalls fit into my lifestyle. I'm gonna keep it around though, because you know, I reserve the right to change my mind, and I'm thinking that perhaps they might just turn into my gardening type of overalls. I might actually sew on a couple of loops and stuff onto the legs for tools. And I know that some of you all are serious overalls wearers. You like your overalls. So let me know if I'm missing something, if there's a special way that you like to style your overalls that I should perhaps try out, and maybe it'll make me want to wear them more often. If you liked learning about the Yanta overalls and enjoyed seeing how I make quick and dirty changes to my pattern pieces and facings, you might actually like checking out this video right over here, which is where I hacked a knit pattern to include a big old funnel neck. And you all, until next time, I sincerely hope that you find joy and have a wonderful day.